Okay, good. Thanks everyone for joining. Okay, so let me first introduce myself, okay? So I'm Osama Drini. I am a UX lead at FBT Software. FBT Software, actually, they have 27 branches all over the world. It's a software company. Okay, let me just move this one outside. Okay. The headquarter in Vietnam, it's very huge, but I'm based on Malaysia branch. Okay, so I'm Egyptian and live in Malaysia from 2017. Okay, good. And this is my social media accounts. If you wanted to follow me, yeah, feel free to scan this QR code. So before we start talking about the design tokens and why design tokens is really important for every designer, whatever, if you are solo designer or freelance or you are working with a team, how much this is important for you and some reasons why you start using it. Okay, so maybe some of you already heard about design tokens, especially since Figma announced it during the Config 2023 about the design tokens. After that, they said we will have Figma variables. Okay, so actually I started focusing on design tokens starting from 2022. Try to do many online sessions like we're doing now, and I did some courses and workshops for that. Okay, so before we go in deep details about the design tokens, I just wanted to share some small information about the design system itself, because design system has a relationship with design tokens. After that, also we will focus a little bit about the difference between the variables and design tokens. Then we will go to the main topic, actually why we supposed to use design tokens inside our design tools, for example, Figma. Okay, good. So design system, actually, if you don't know the design system, because I'm not sure about the experience for the audience here, maybe some of you still join. So design system, yeah, is a set of guidelines that can help us designers and developers to keep our design consistent. Okay, and most of us actually know that design tokens is only a component library system. So if you can see here, I'm not sure you can see this one, correct? Yeah, okay. So most of us know about the design system is the component library system only in our file. So for example, I can have some components for button, for logo, for input field, and for example, for typography as a label or something like that. But design system have some groups. So for example, if I group some elements from this category or level, the atom, the first level of design system, if I group them, so for example, I can create a search bar. So this search bar can contain label, input, and button. Okay, that means I'm creating a different level of my design system. Okay, so if also I have logo, I have search bar, and also I have a navigation, and navigation also contains some labels. So that means I'm creating a different level. For example, the organisms. So a website header can contain logo, navigation, and search bar, and so on. So the small elements in our design system, we call it atoms. Atoms, that means I cannot break it down for something smaller. Like the button, I cannot break it down to be smaller than like that. Okay. Then some companies or the huge corporates, they have a very huge design system. That means they can group some sections as a components to be a template, or after that to be a pages and so on. Okay. Let's talk about what design system contains. Some designers, as I just mentioned, they know only design system has component library item, but this is not wrong. The expert in design system usually say, no, this is not a design system. This is a component library. But let's make it simple. Let's say we have a simple design system and we have a complex design system. Okay. So the simple design system sometimes contain, typography guidelines, color palettes, component library, iconography, and so on. But if we're talking about the real or the complex design system, that means I'm supposed to have design principles, accessibility guidelines, grid system, animation standard. If I'm working for a product, depends on animation a lot. A guide for developers as a code, web version for this design system, responsive rule, a documentation, and actually also a design token. Okay, so feel free, guys, if you have any questions, just type it in the chat and I will take a look. Okay, thanks so much. Okay, so what's next? What are the benefits actually behind the design system? I supposed to have a consistency because I'm controlling, for example, all the buttons from one master component and so on. And if I had a code version for my design system, so I also make sure this code is updated for all devices or all platforms that this company or this product actually using it, because it's one source of the code. Okay, this helps the company also to have a brand cohesion. So the brand, for example, if our product have many platforms, so I used app, Android app, web version, dashboard, and so on. So the company brand or the product brand will be consistent. Faster development, because the small element as a part of as a part of design system, actually we have a code version. So we finish the development fast and we improve the collaboration between designers and developers. That means we can scale as a company, faster, and we can amend or apply the maintenance or the changes during inside our project, faster and easier. And absolutely this will reflect at the end for the user. So the user will have a good user experience once he open our product from whatever device or whatever platform. Okay, who's supposed to use our design system? So now, because we're talking about the design system supposed to have a version for code as for developers and so on. So design team, not only that is the teams that's supposed to use a design system, engineering team also supposed to use. And sometimes in big companies, they have a specific team for accessibility, and some companies, the accessibility team members actually as a part of design system team. As a part of design team here, sometimes we have a few designers only focus on the accessibility and so on. If design system for huge companies, that depends a lot about the marketing. So the marketing team also sometimes use some templates, for them to build the campaigns, to make sure the branding in our newsletter or social media posts and so on have the same consistency with our branding guidelines and so on. Okay, I will also share with you once I publish this session on YouTube. I will add also all of these resources, because I can see some designers here from Egypt, from Middle East. So I give you also this online session on Facebook about design system deep dive. And because most of the audience here actually English speakers, so I will share with you, this is a free YouTube course from Figma talking about the design system. This is actually a really good start for you if you want to know more about the design tokens. The design system. Okay. Okay, so now we try to understand a little bit about the design system, what the benefits behind it, and so on. So now, what is the relationship between design system and design tokens? So design tokens actually is a part of a design system. So once we say the design system contains a component library and the style guide, documentation, blah, blah, blah. So design tokens is a part of it. But actually, what is the design tokens and what we can control by design tokens? We can control the colors, the spacing, the sizes, everything about the typography, the font families, the font weight, letter spacing, line heights, and so on. Shadows also, animation or the duration, some assets or icons or images, the border, and the border here we can control border color, border widths, and also corner radius, so on, and more. And you can see here, this is a very, very tiny properties that we can use it as a designers to take a decision how our design looks like. So for example, if we're talking about a button, so the button can have a background color, can have a text color, can have also a typography, the button text, font family weight, and so on. What is a button minimum weight, the border, and so on. So we call this properties. And if we apply some tokens to this small property, that means I'm taking a decision how my button looks like. Okay, we will go in deep details to understand this more. Don't worry. Okay, I just take a look about the comments here. Someone pasting some links. I don't know what is that. It's not a question, Okay, I don't know what is it. Okay, let's go in deep details here. The confusion between the variables and design tokens. So feel free to type in the chat. If you watch it, the Figma Config 2023, and at the beginning they said we will announce design tokens. Everyone be happy. After that they said no, we will introduce the Figma variables, and a lot of designers here got confused. So if you memorize in this time, you understand that design tokens is like old fashioned and will be replaced by variables. Just let me know, type in the comments, because after that 1 year or a few months before the Config 2023, I was talking a lot social media and LinkedIn and so on about the design tokens. So once they announced design tokens and variables on Config 2023, I received a lot of messages what's going on? So should we stop learning design tokens and we have to learn the variables? But actually it's not. Design tokens, it's not old-fashioned, and it's not will be replaced by Figma variables, because there is a big difference between both. And now I'm trying to make it simple for you to understand perfectly what is the difference between both, between variables and design token. Okay. So first, let's start to talking about the variables perspective from some experts. Okay. So usually, ChatGPT, one of our experts assistants right now. So I go to ChatGPT and ask it, okay, tell me what is the variables. Okay. So he give me here some small steps. He said the variables supposed to have a name and a value. And this value can be a text and can be a number. And also ChatGPT mentioned, so the variable can be reused as a reference. So for example, here I have a variable named Y and the value for it is 10. And I have another variable Z, and this Z actually equal Y plus 10. Y plus 5. That's mean it's 10 plus 5. So the value here for the Z variable is 15. And why actually sometimes I have to use the variables as a reference, because to give me flexibility to easily control. So one day if I change it, the value for the Y to be 20, that means Z will be 25 automatic, because I'm using here Y as a reference. Okay. Maybe this until now is still complicated. I will try to make it more simple. I can see the question here actually from Pranuti, talking about how are the tokens different than the styles. Okay, I will tell you at the end here the difference between both. Okay, I have your answer. Okay, let's back to Figma variables perspective from some experts. So if you try to search about how actually Figma as a company explaining what is the variables inside the Figma, they usually mention that the variables actually is store reusable value. So you will hear these three words a lot once you try to figure out what is design tokens, what is variables. So the variable actually store reusable value. So I have some values, I will store it. After that, I can reuse it. Okay. So before I complete and explain to you here, I give you one example here to make it sure you understand. So for example, if my 16 pixels as a value for me, so once I store it and give it a name, for example, corner radius medium, that means I'm doing a variable or I'm creating a variable. This is a variable name and this is the value for the variable. So now I store it. What variable tool or design tokens tool I am using it right now to help me to store this one. For example, like we are storing in Figma style the colors. So I store the hexa color and I give it a name. Same concept. Okay. So I'm storing the value and give it a name. That means I'm creating a variable. Then after that, I can reuse it. So corner radius medium, I can reuse it for a button. And also I can reuse it, for example, as input field. So what does this mean? Usually on Figma, without variables, if we have a component, master component for a button and master component for input field. So, and both are using the same value of corner radius, 16 pixels. So if I wanted to update this in my design, I have to go to the master component for a button, update it. After that, I have to go to also the input field and update it. But if I am controlling the corner radius by same variable, that means I come only to this variable and I update the value here, for example, from 16 to 8 pixels. So it will update for all. And this, the very small example, how can the variables or design tokens can help us to, as a designers, to save a lot of time. Okay. Okay. What about the design tokens perspective from experts? Okay. We just learned about the variable is I store a value and I reuse it. Okay. What about the design tokens? So I will explain to you here from my perspective, the design tokens looks like a tiny Lego pieces in my design system. So, and this, okay, before I go here, maybe we forgot to explain this one more because we just take the first line. So, sorry, for that. So Figma talking about we store reusable value, the variable. Yeah, we store reusable value that can help apply to all kind of properties. The corner radius here, an example about the design properties. Okay. And this can help us to save time and effort while we are building designs or managing our design system. And after that, also a lot of things, a lot of articles by Figma, they mention we are using these variables to implement the design tokens, or sometimes they say to represent the design tokens. Okay. So let's back again about the design tokens perspective from some experts. Okay. So I can see the design tokens looks like a tiny Lego pieces. So these tiny Lego pieces are part of my design system. Do you memorize the design system categories? Once we said about we have atoms, after that we group them to create, for example, search bar. So that's mean we have another level and so on and so on. So this is the levels of my design system. Okay. So the atoms here, for example, can contain a button, can contain, for example, input field. Okay. And I can control the design tokens here. If I say design tokens is a tiny Lego pieces, that means if I have a button, I can have a tiny Lego pieces for corner radius, another one for a button background, another one for border width, another one, for example, for the button shadow, and so on. Okay, so the tiny Lego pieces in a design system can help designers and developers to make sure everything in our products looks same and also works in the same way, and this will reflect at the end for a good user experience for our users. If this is still complicated, I'm trying to make it more simple. So for example, I have some values. This is the values. Okay, let's talking, for example, about the color. Okay, I have 3 different colors. Okay, if I store these values and I give it a name, that's mean here I'm creating a variable. Okay, so this is the variable names. Okay, and this is my values. Okay, so all of this only is a variable. Once I take this variable and I assign it to my atom component library as a part of my design system, that's mean I am implementing a design tokens. Okay, so variables, that's mean I have value, I store it, I can reuse it. But the whole concept, if I assign this to my design system, that's mean I am doing a design token. So this is the first part of the difference between both design tokens and the variables. Let's take a look here. I hope this one will be more simple for you. Okay, so this button as a part of my design system, okay, a part of my atom design system. Okay, and I have some values here, 2 pixels and this hexacolor and 16 pixels. Okay, so this value I didn't store it yet. So if I store it and give to each value a name, that's mean I creating a variable. So for example, the border medium can be 2 pixels and the primary color can have this value of hexacolor, and also the font size is small, I give it a value as 16 pixels. And what did this mean? If I assign each variable to any atom here as a part of my component library inside my design system, that means I am doing or I'm implementing the design token. For example, now I assign the border medium to this button. Okay, and another variable for primary color, I assign it here, and also another one for font small size, I assign it to this one. So this is the smallest element in my design system as an atom component for a button. So to implement a design tokens here, that means I supposed to have values, I store it as a variable, and I assign these variables to my component. All of this mean I am doing a design tokens. You got it? And because this button actually a part of my design system, that means the design tokens is a part of my design system. Okay, so I hope this clear for you. Okay, if you still have some confusion about the difference between variables and design tokens, don't be shy, just text in the comments. Okay, so the design tokens, it's not just a variables. Design tokens actually is the system that making our designs works well on different platforms and different devices. If someone said the design tokens are just a variables, that looks like he's saying a book is just a words. It doesn't make sense. And if you have more choices, in your design tokens, that means you have a good design. So for example here, let's back here. I have only 2 variables or 2 tokens I assign to my pattern. Okay, but I don't have I'm not controlling, for example, the border color. I'm only controlling the border width. I'm not controlling the corner radius. I'm not controlling, for example, how everything will be changed on hover. You know what I mean? So all of this, that means I have less choices. Once you have more choices, you will have a good design. If you have fewer choices, your design will be messy. Okay, like that. Okay. So the conclusion here is the variable represent the design tokens, but design tokens is the method to express your design decision. Because here now I'm taking a decision how my design looks like. I have values, I store it as a variable, I assign it to my component, and once I assign it, I am taking a decision how this looks like. So if I assign more variables to control the body radius, that's when I'm taking the decision. You know what I mean? So the design tokens is a method can express the design decision. Okay? Good. I will also give you 2 resources in the video description. The first one actually is a small course from Figma talking about my first variable. Yeah, this actually really helpful for you to start understanding more about the variables and design tokens. And another article also from Figma guide you for variables. Yeah, this also really good. Okay, so the main important part here actually is why do we have to use the design tokens in our design tools? Okay, so if you notice, once I talking about design tokens, sometimes I mention components on Figma and sometimes I mention also the code part, yeah, for the developers. So let's focus on the design part first, okay? As you know, once Figma announced the variables, they also said the variables is available to help you as a designer to create an advanced prototype. Okay, so this is the first reason. Okay, the variables can help me to make an advanced prototype to save a lot of time. And do you know the old version of the prototype that have a lot of noodles and make it complicated? Sometimes at the beginning we were very happy. We feel okay, I'm expert doing some prototypes, and we take a screenshot how we are connecting a lot of screens together and we have a lot of noodles and lines between the screen. But the problem here actually, this is not easy to edit, not easy to understand, especially if another designer come to you. Okay, so the advanced prototype to create it by variables will save a lot of pages, a lot of time for you, and allow you to have more power, yeah, to create a lot of things. Okay, so this is the first reason. The second reason is the design part. Let's say I am a designer, I am not doing any prototype. Okay, so I will try to show you some small examples how the variables or design tokens, if you try to implement it in your design tool as a Figma, how this can save your time. Okay, and maybe this can help me to answer the question, the difference between the design tokens and Figma styles. Okay, so usually we do have colors style in Figma, correct? So I save the color, I give it a name like a primary color, but sometimes also the text link color is the same color as a primary. You know what I mean? And I have another one, for example, for secondary, but I have to create a gradient. If this gradient using primary and secondary, if I update this primary will not reflect to here and so on. And if I update primary color will not reflect to this one, for example. So by implementing design tokens, this will help you to have a reference and control everything. So for example, I can have a text link color as a token, but the value here actually is another token or another variable, for example, that primary color. So that's mean if I updated the primary color, it will automatically update it, yeah, the text link color. Same also for gradient, I can still control the gradient if the gradient colors contain primary and secondary as an example. So once I update both, I can update, yeah, the gradients automatically. So to have a reference, this is really good in tokens, but it's not implemented in Figma style itself. Okay. The second example here for the Figma style for typography. Okay. So we do have the text style in Figma. So for example, for heading 5, I can say the font size is 20 pixel. The family is Helvetica, blah, blah, blah. But it's better by implementing design tokens to define them in atomic way. What does this mean? So for example, I can say for heading 5, the font family is heading 5 font family, and heading 5 font family have another token. For example, the font family is Helvetica. So imagine if I have the 6 levels of my headings, yeah, like from heading 1 to heading 6. Okay, so each one of them I have a different token. For example, H5 font family and H4 font family, H6 font family, and so on. And all of these tokens have another reference. For example, let's say font family Helvetica, and this font family Helvetica has a value Helvetica. So once if I wanted to update all of this typography font family, instead of to go to specific Figma style one by one to update it, I control it from one place. Okay, if this is still complicated, maybe the second example, the spacing and the corner radius can help you a lot. Yeah, how this can save your time. Okay, so we do have an auto layout in our Figma to manage the spacing, for example, inside the component and between the component and so on. but it's amazing if I change it one time only. So let's say, for example, I have a component here. Okay, this is a one component. I'm controlling the spacing inside my component between the elements inside it. Okay, by auto layout. And for example, the gap is 20 pixels, and also the padding top, bottom, right, and left is 20 pixels. Okay, if I have two components using the same value of the spacing, and I use these two components in many pages in my design. So to update the spacing and keep consistency for both two different components, I have to go to the master component here and they change it, for example, from 20 pixel to 24. And also I have to come here to different component master version to update it same way. So I'm duplicating the time and the effort to keep consistency, by controlling my design system. But if I have and implementing the design tokens, that's mean from one place only I can control this. So for example, let's say this component controlling the spacing by a token called spacing medium. And also I used spacing medium here. I reuse it also here. So instead of to go to the master component and update the spacing for component 1 and component 2 again, so I go to the master token and variable and just update the value from 20 to 24. Automatically will reflect to all components everywhere I'm using the same variable. Okay, so this can help me as a designer to control my design system and manage it faster and better, make sure I am keeping consistency, and also saving a lot of time and effort for me to apply some changes. Okay, this is another example about how the design tokens can help me a lot as a designer to save my time. Okay, so let's say this is my design system. And design system, I have some buttons. I have also some input fields. I also have another level of component like the card, for example. Let's call this as a card. Okay, so you can see here, I am as a designer, I take a decision to control or to have a same corner radius for all. Okay, so let's say, for example, this is 8 pixels corner radius for the card, for the buttons, for input field. So without implementing design tokens, that means I have to go to the master component one by one for the button to update it, and also for input fields to update it, also for the card to update it. And maybe there is a chance here I missed some components to update. And that means I have a chance to have inconsistency in my design. And also this will take from me time and effort to update. Okay. But if I am implementing the design tokens, I go to one token, for example, corner radius medium, because I assign this corner radius medium to all my component, for example. So I go to this main token, I update it one time, reflect to all. So absolutely this will save for me a lot of time and effort. Okay. And keep consistency to while I'm building my design, or while I am controlling or managing my design system. Thanks so much. Someone say that this example really helps. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we understand now how I can control my my component library or my design system better and faster by implementing the design tokens. What else? Because we talk only about one example for typography, corner radius, and also the spacing. What else I can control by design tokens? I can control the sizing, font family, font weight, letter spacing, shadows, borders, border widths, border radius, border style, assets, and a lot of things. So you can feel here everything. Actually, you are using each design property in Figma. You are using it to control your design or to take a decision how your component looks like. We can control the design tokens by them, or design tokens control all of these design properties. Okay. Okay. Feel free if you have some questions. Yeah, type it in the chat. Okay. So, what is the best tools to for design tokens? Okay, so the best tools actually the Figma variables plus div mode and some plugins, and also Tokens Studio plugin plus style dictionary and Tokens Studio configurator. What does this mean, and why we have to have div mode or tokens configurator or something like that as a part of our design tokens tool? Okay, first let's talk about Figma variables and Tokens Studio plugin. Both have the same objectives, but some features actually different. Until this moment, Tokens Studio plugin is more powerful than Figma variables. But this actually doesn't mean that you have to use the Tokens Studio plugin and ignore Figma variable. This actually a very big story, because depends on your team and depends on your project. Once you deep dive in design tokens, you will figure out the best tool for me. That's not mean it has a more feature. The best tool for me, not only me as a designer, supposed to be fit and easy and help us as a team, as a product team, designers and developers to implement our design tokens. And this actually difference between project to project, product to product, team per team. So for example, let's say we have two products, okay, two different companies. One company have only website and the other company have one product included web version as a website, another web version as a dashboard. Sorry. Sorry. And also have Android app and iOS app. So we have to figure as a team which tool here is Figma variables plus live mode and some plugins helping us to easily and faster create a different code, specific code for each platform, web, Android and iOS, or Token Studio plugin is more easy. Depends on that, something like that. This is very, very small example, but actually this is a very big story, yeah? I just want to let you know that we have two main or the biggest tools or the most important tools for implementing design tokens, Figma variables and Token Studio plugin. Okay? Okay. But what is the tokens, design tokens process? Okay, this is actually, it's more complicated than that. I'm trying to make it simple. So inside our Figma, we are taking a decision by implementing the design tokens inside our design system. Okay. So if we used Figma variables or Tokens Studio plugin, whatever, at the end, I have to convert these design tokens to a code to, for example, CSS or SAS for web, or for example, Objective-C or Swift UI for iOS, Kotlin for Android, and so on. Okay, so I have one product, have different platform that web, iOS, Android, and Flutter or whatever. So if I take a decision to use Figma variables as a tool helping me to create and implement the design tokens, that means I have to convert these tokens automatically to each platform code. Usually without design tokens, once you finish the design, you hand it over to the developer open Figma and try to inspect manually each property. If we're talking, for example, as a button, so we have now 3 developers, web developer, iOS developer, and Android developer, correct? So each one of them have to go to your button and inspect manually and see the value for corner radius and value for button background color, border widths, border style, text, padding, minimum width, minimum height, blah, 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 a lot of effort from each individual developer. But by implementing design tokens, whatever we are using Figma variables or Token Studio plugin, this automatically or manually and somehow, because different sometimes, be converted to a JSON code. And we can use something like Style Dictionary to help us to convert this JSON code to different platform code. Okay? It's more complicated like that, but imagine we have finished the products, design and development, and we release it to all users. And we now took a decision as a designer to have, for example, dark mode. So we have to ask the engineering team to come in a meeting, show them how the dark mode looks like from Figma, and we're asking them the most important question, how long it takes from you to implement dark mode in your code. Actually, he cannot give you an answer immediately because he will say, I have to investigate and take a look of my code structure first to can give you an estimation time. Okay, but if we are implementing design tokens in our design file from Figma and also as a code, that means the developer will do nothing because we call this one source of truth. I'm controlling the version that can be released to all users by Figma. I take a decision here, I update the variables, whatever I'm using Figma variables or Token Studio plugin, I click in one button, this tokens are converted to JSON code and automatically try to Style Dictionary convert this JSON to different platforms. So if I take a decision here, the button primary background color will be green, not blue. It was blue. I take a decision to make it green. Automatically, it will be green in the code, in web version, iOS version, Android version, and so on, without any single action from the developers. That means we call it one source of truth. I'm controlling everything from here. Who will take a decision the design looks like? The designer. So by implementing design tokens in your Figma file, that means you will save a lot of time. Thanks so much. Okay. I'll try to show you some challenges without design tokens and benefits after we implement the design tokens for team and for a company. Okay, and maybe this 4 slides can help you to start a conversation with your team, with your managers. We need to implement the design tokens because we have this kind of issues and challenges. And by implementing design tokens, what are the benefits we can get? Okay, so first let's take a look about the team challenges without design tokens. Okay, so absolutely, designers and developers, they have a communication gap between them because we have to manually hand off every single screen to them. Okay, and this means developers have to inspect manually your design to get the value of the code they want, and this means it's a repetitive tasks for each developer. Even for the same developer, it's a repetitive tasks. And we have also a lot of issues about how we track the changes. What is the latest file? Where is the final design? And so on. Same also for the code. Yeah, so it's difficult to track our changes. And we don't have a specific language, to use to make it easy, between the team designers and developers, tester, and so on. And also, without implementing design tokens, we will have inconsistency for our branding. If we have many platforms, because 100% you will find the blue color. I as a designer, I have only one blue color, but in the code for one product itself, iOS app, maybe you can find they have more than one blue. And why? How did you come with this blue, and so on? So imagine if we have more than one platform, web version, Android version, iOS version, 100% you will have inconsistency in your branding. Okay, and if during you are doing the design, if you take a decision to update your design, also this will require a manual adjustment for each platform, and this is huge. So I take a decision to change the button corner radius, so each developer, I have to notify them manually. This is the latest one. Then they have to inspect and they have to update their code, and all this process happening manually. By design tokens, this will be automatically. And absolutely all of these changes we are talking about will reflect to the development process will be longer. So the company will go to the market, will take a lot of time to go to the market, not go to the time faster, will be slow. Okay. So what if we as a team implemented the design tokens? What is the benefits? Absolutely, we will have one source of truth or single source of truth because I'm controlling everything from Figma. And also automatic workflow because they don't need to do anything as a development. Once we finish everything, we implement the design tokens in the code one time. All the process will be automatic about the changes and so on. All the tasks will be automation. And also, it's easy for us to track the changes because at the end for design, we have one place as a variable tokens to update. And also as a code, it's only one file, the JSON file. It will be updated. So we know when it's updated and who requested this update. Okay, 100% will have a consistency in our branding because there is zero chance here, 0% chance to have the same button, have different color or different design or different layout in different platform or different devices. This will never happen by implementing design tokens. Absolutely, the developers can finish everything very fast because a lot of steps will happen automatically. No manual changes or actions required from the development. That means we have a faster development process, and this help us also help the developers to focus more for more technical issues, not UI issues and so on. Okay, even also the testers. Instead, the tester go and they check the color is same color between platforms or devices. No, he will focus more about testing the functionality, and this is more important for the company and the team. Okay, the communication between designers and developers, will be better, and we have a unified language, so on. Okay, so let's come to the company level. What is the challenges without implementing design tokens, and what is the benefits? So the first challenge for the company, they have identity confusion, absolutely, because each platform has different identity. Slow product delivery, and this is really big issue for a lot of companies. They want to finish everything faster, but the delivery actually is very slow because we have a lot of UI steps or manual steps or repetitive tasks we have to do. Okay, this also will reflect to extend the time to go to the market, and this actually sometimes make the company lose a lot of money. And also without design tokens, we have to delay a lot of things. So end of the sprint, we finish 50% of the sprint because we got new design changes in the middle of the sprint and actually have to repeat everything and do a lot of things manually. So a lot of delay will happen, and this will cost the company more. Okay. It's not easy for the company also to keeping up with trends. So let's say, for example, in Christmas, I want to change all my UI to follow the Christmas branding, blah, blah, blah. So, or maybe also there is new style of UI come to the market. So I wanted to keep my product updated, and so on. So it's not easy here because this will take a lot of time, but by tokens it will be faster and automatic. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so adapting to market changes. Yeah, this is not easy without design tokens. Conflicting specification between designers and developers, limited growth, and also scaling challenges. Yeah, I want to scale, but my team actually busy for a lot of things. It's not that much important, but we have to do it. So to scale faster, you make sure you are using your resources perfectly or efficiency. Yeah, I make them focus more about the quality of the code, or make sure the functionality is working perfectly, blah, 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 building new feature, good feature, instead of wasting a time to fix UI issues or to implement UI manually and repetitive tasks and so on. And as a company, if I want to implement the design tokens, what are the benefits I will get? 100% clear identity, quick product delivery, less time to the market, and this is really, really important for the company. The company will save time and cost, also keep updates with the trends and market changes, so the company will be very adaptive for that. And strategic resources allocation. This is the one I mean about our resources as a team members actually focus on most important things, because the process will be automatic, no manual changes, no manual adjustment, and so on. Align specification, and at the end, actually, the big goal behind the scenes to have a unified user experience for our users across our products or platforms and so on. Okay, this will help the company to grow effectively and scalable solution and so on. Okay, so what I just explained to you right now is 10% of a specific professional course for the design tokens. So we just took here 50 minutes only, and this course actually have 9 weeks. This 9 weeks included, I think, more than 60 videos talking about everything about the tokens. Okay. So if you wanted to become a tokens expert, so feel free to go to this course, design tokens from basic to mastery. It's not an advanced course. I'm taking you from very basic level. I imagine that you have zero experience about what is a design tokens until you be expert for design tokens. Okay. So to join this course, you just go to usamatrini.com/courses. You will find this course. I will take you around to this course to show you what this course included. And also, I will give you 25% discount if you are using this coupon code, early bird coupon code. Okay. And also, after I show you what is the course included, I will also try to answer all your questions. So feel free also to take a look. So write any questions you have. Okay. So if you go to usamatrini.com/courses, you will find these courses. Actually, I started the last 2 years to do a lot of courses for Middle East community to help the designers in Arabic. So I have a specific course, for Figma variable, different specific course for tokens studio plugin, also exploring AI feature in Figma Jam. And the design tokens course, I didn't create for in Arabic language right now. I created only for English. Maybe after 4-6 months, we will have the Arabic version. Okay. But if you go here, you can see why I'm showing you that, because the Figma variable course or Token Studio plugin specific course actually, or AI features in Figma Jam, this coming, once I finish this course, I will start to recording this. So if you keep following me on social media, you will be updated, what is the progress and so on. Okay. So related to our design tokens course from basic to mastery, so you can go here and see what is the details. So this is a 9 weeks of course, and this course actually based on cohorts. That's mean as a group. So we as a group, we start joining the course. For example, the first cohorts will start end of 30 of September. Okay. So this course included 61 videos until now. we have 13 live sessions and 27 interactive activities. That's in during these live sessions, some of the live sessions actually, I give you a feedback about the activities and tasks you did, and show you what is the mistakes you did, and we discuss together all your questions. I answered all your questions, and some live sessions actually I explain to you some lessons live, and also these lessons already recorded. Okay, we have 10 resources links, and actually this will be expanded to 20 at least. I'm still updating them. Okay, 12 download activities file. Actually, every activity I give you the downloaded file, but for example, we have 3 activities, and the 3 activities actually at the end have a one big task. Yeah, so also I allow you to download the latest version of the practice we are doing. Okay, so this not only 12. Yeah, you can say 27 small and 12 big project file, like that. You will get a certificate. I'm trying to find a sponsor for certificate to give you more power. Yeah, about the certificate brand. This is in progress. And also you will get direct access to me on WhatsApp or Telegram. You will have also feedback and personal feedback and reflection about reviewing the tasks. You will be a part of exclusive community, private community for the students joining this course, and you will get a lifetime access about the course material, and you will keep updated. Once I update some videos or I add new lessons, you will also get a notification about the new updates here. Okay, so you can take a look about the course overview, how I made this course form, but I will give you here overview about the course syllabus. Okay, we have 3 modules. The first one is the foundation of design system and design tokens. So this actually have 3 weeks. Okay, most of the information I explained to you today actually a part of this module, a part of this week, and this week have 17 lessons and 4 live sessions. That's why I said this code, what we explained during our 15 minutes actually is looks like 10% only, from the course content. So here you can see each week how many lessons, live sessions, or resources we have. Some of this actually is free. Once you can see free icon here, you just click here. The free content actually I publish it on YouTube. So maybe if you plan to take a decision to enroll this course, I suggest for you at least you check this free videos first and free resources first. Okay, so this is the first week. Second week we will go deep more about the challenges and design tokens essential. How can we start, what we're supposed to do, what is the meaning of systematic naming, how we can define and take a decision, how can we reuse the tokens as a reference, how we can be flexible, and a lot of tips and tricks. The tokens levels, the difference between option and alias and component specific token, and a lot of things. I don't need to explain to you everything that is here. I want to focus more on your question, but you can go here and take a look. This is the first module, give you all the basics, everything about design tokens to be familiar with design tokens. Then we will start to do a design for login page together. And this login page, we will design it, create design system, and we will, in module 2, we will know how to create and implement the design tokens by Figma variables. So we will do all the levels of tokens. We will assign to our component. We will publish, convert it to code, update it to code. After that, let's test one source of truth and see the magic. I take a decision on Figma, reflect it to the code automatically, create dark mode also, and implement it in our process as a code, and plus create new brand. This will come in 3 different weeks under module 2. The last module, we will do same what we did, but using Token Studio plugin. So feel free if you feel, okay, I only need the first module and the second because I don't care now about Token Studio plugin. So maybe the price will be different. Just send me in a message on any social media accounts, okay, for me, and let's discuss about the price. Okay. Here also you can find some testimonials from previous students. I give them mentorship. Sometimes I give them also workshop for design tokens and so on. Okay. So let me take a look now. Someone raised their hands. Go ahead. Emmanuel, you have questions? Go ahead.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, can.
Okay, so I have a question, but before I just want to thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks.
That you explained very well, Osama.
Thanks.
And I think that people hear from whether they are beginners or rather advanced, I think everyone learned, because I've learned some new stuff here today, and this session was really good. So this was really good.
Thanks so much.
And no problem. And my question is, right now I have the tokens, my Figma, and they are all structured and such with the names on it, but I'm still searching a way of how can I export them to the developers. So the developers haven't put the design tokens yet on the code. So I was thinking of some tools like Startbook and such, but I don't know where to start.
Okay.
And when you said about the style dictionary, this seemed like a solution. So how can I start exporting these Excel?
Can I confirm which tool are you using? Are you using Figma variables to create your tokens, or using Token Studio plugin?
Figma variables.
Okay. You are using Figma variables. So if I go to the course visual, you can see my screen, I think under week number 5. So to convert the design tokens in Figma variables to code, you can use a div mode, but this absolutely will be manually and this will not help you. Yeah, I know. This looks like the old-fashioned way. We just inspect manually, but you can use specific plugins, okay, to generate your tokens, okay. So you can see here one lesson, the best plugins to export the token to JSON code. I want to show you a really full example. Design tokens workshop. Let's say this is our design system file, and this design system file, we have here some tokens, okay. We have 3 levels, the primitives and also the alias and tokens. So to convert the tokens here, we can go to the plugins. I usually use 2 plugins. This one, variable import and export. Okay, and the second one is variables export for div mode. So you can use both. Okay, so if I use this one, for example, I will say I want to export my tokens. Okay, so I get this button. Once I click here, you can give you 3 JSON files, not one for primitives. Okay. Once you scroll down, you can see it here. The second one for alias, and also the last one for your component specific tokens. But maybe you can have one more if in your tokens you have more than one mode, light and dark. But if you copy all of this code, JSON code, and you put it in one JSON code, you will get some issues, because we have here some tips and tricks. The first one is you can copy, for example, from here. Can you see this one? Starting from here, you can ignore this one, for example, okay? This for primitives, okay? And also, if you go to the second level like alias, you copy from here, okay? And between between each level, you have to add comma and space. You go what I mean?
Yeah, because of the JSON format, right?
Yeah, so you have to have a comma, like this comma, okay, between. So if I copy everything in primitives without the starting and the end, so I mean until here, so I have to add comma, enter, and copy from this, okay, until, for example, until the end here, I also add comma and enter, and also I do same. But all of this, I have to add one parent, one at the beginning and one at the end. You know what I mean? So this can be a working file of JSON. So then you can use a style dictionary or Token Studio configurator to do that.
Oh, I see. And it's really clever, by the way. I think that using these plugins and also checking out the classes on the course, that will definitely help me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Emmanuel. Okay. So feel free, guys, to raise your hand if you wanted to speak, to tell me your question. If you want me to read it, I'm okay also. I'm trying to check your comments until someone raises hands, okay? Emmanuel also said the style dictionary, never heard on this. Okay. Emmanuel, if you heard about the Token Studio configurator, I'm not sure you heard about it or not. Actually, Token Studio configurator looks like a copy from style dictionary. Yeah, but they make it an online configurator to make it easy for designers and developers to use it, instead of to set up it, as a library in our project. Everything on this, actually, I explained in the videos in Arabic, but maybe most of you will not understand. That's why I'm creating this course in English. Okay. Another comments, could you recommend some plugins for Figma to turn variable to JSON? Yeah, the 2 plugins we just answered. Okay. feel free to take a screenshot from this one if you wanted to go to the course anytime. And this coupon code, I think, will be available until end of September. Okay. And if you want to contact me, I back again here to the first two slides. So feel free to scan this QR code. Yeah, send me a message on LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram. I have also Telegram community, have like almost 3,000 designers. Some posts in Arabic, some in English, but you can activate the auto translate feature, yeah, on Telegram. Also, you can check my YouTube channel. I have a lot of videos in English. It's better to go to the playlist, or if you wanted to check here, you have to find the English at the end of each video. Okay, you can see this Arabic. So sometimes inside the Arabic itself, I put the English video. Okay, and so on. So if you open this, for example, by mistake, if I have an English version for it, you will find. So for example, let's say this is a variable versus for design tokens. It's Arabic. Okay. So if you open it by mistake, you can see here the English version for this video. So you can go here. Okay. Or also I have some specific, some specific playlists, in English. Okay. So if you go back here to the channel, you go, sorry for that. You can find here, this is design tokens course in English. Also community session in English. This, it was like 1 year ago, if I'm not mistaken, talking about design tokens. And actually, if you watch this one, you will find how much the content is different and how I keep updating the content. Okay. So this is the content until now in English. Every week I try to keep publish at least 2 videos on Arabic and English. So feel free to follow me here. Yeah. To know more. Okay. But also how we can help in development process. Okay. So if you understand the design tokens process and how we convert these tokens from Figma to code and how you implement it, that means the developers will call the tokens only one time in their life. After that, it will be updated automatically. That means you are helping them for the development process. Yeah, I hope this understandable for you. But every single step about the manual handoff and manual update or manual changes the developers have to do after you finish your design, this will happen automatically by implementing the tokens. That means you're helping the development process. Okay. So thanks so much for the good comments and the nice words from you guys. Okay, thank you. If you don't have any more questions, so you can end the session and keep following me on ADPList. I usually every month at least I make one session. Okay.